la, wait till I get my money right.
What's going on, X? Welcome to Quantum Ascend. I have EGLD Multiverse X up on the screen. This is the 1 month price chart. Makes it a little bit easier and cleaner to see what's going on. This does go back to July of 2019. So EGLD has been around for a while, and we look $400 million market cap, pretty decent size. By no means is it small. Kind of a mid-cap coin. So what we're going to dig into today is Altseason Waves 3, 4, 5. And so looking at EGLD, I mean, it set a new low here in June. So when we're looking for 3 waves here, I mean, this is weak if you're calling this like a 1, 2. So realistically, what we're going to be looking for EGLD is still 3 waves, but going to be a little bit different. Most likely an ABC instead of a 5-wave move up because of the reason I just mentioned. All right, so either way, 3 waves. We're less concerned about that, more concerned about where. And so that's where fibs come into play, and those are going to end up being huge. Like I said back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 waves down, and then we came down into this first and second wave here on the low. So I will say that going back to this high of November of 2021, I mean, we're down 97%. And not every coin is going to set new all-time highs in alt season. And I do believe that this is going to be one of those cases. Down hugely over a 4-year span. And then we did drop pretty low, like we're pretty close to this wave 2 low here. So I am going to be looking for a retracement play here for EGLD. So we'll go ahead and jump into that. Before I do, guys, join the Quantum Circle, 2 daily macro videos, entries, exits, strategy, private Discord, and a whole lot more. Link to that is in my bio, but I promise you guys on the entries and exits alone, you're going to be saving yourselves well more than $95 a month. So go check that out. Link to that in my bio. All right, EGLD. What we're going to look at here is I want to take this first to second wave, see if we closed it out. This high to this low, sure enough, closed it out there on that wave. Next thing I want to take a look at is what's going on here with this 3rd to 4th wave drop. Pinpoint nailed the 2618 on wave 5 before it rolled over. So I haven't tagged it yet, but that is way up there at $868. So again, not my base, just wanted to see how we've been moving in this whole thing. So we can go back to that in a second. What I want to do now, draw fibs over this whole thing, this most recent range, right? That's been going on for 4+ years now. So looking for an ABC to get us back up, most likely into these retracement levels. There's a couple different ways we can go about it. You see in this 5th wave here, we ended up having an A, a B, and a C for that final 5th wave, at least on the monthly. If I break this down to the weekly, you might be able to count out 5 waves. But on the macro here, we're looking at an ABC. So these 2 highs go back January of 2024. I mean, we're 18 months in on this range here. So first things first, a lot of the alts we're looking at this last December high, and we're looking for full extensions of that high. So I pull that out. Sure enough, a 4236 on this last drop. We have confluence right up here with the 382 on this entire range. That is huge. We're going to have some serious resistance up here at this point at $217. And where we're from right now, guys, where we're at, it's a monster move. That's almost a 15x from where we're at right now. Does it set us off into new all-time highs? No, it does not, but it is a full extension of that. Other thing I want to pull in, let's take a look at the top of this 4th wave down to the bottom of this wave. All right, we had that confluence up here. There's a little bit higher up here on this range, right up there at close to 300. Nice round number. For me, that's going to be my secondary target on this up there. So I'll put it in the title of the tweet, but my main is right here at 217. And if we can pop through that, great, no problem. But we do see that there's going to be more coming into play. That takes us to a 0.5 retracement. So we will have taken back 50% of this drop if we got up there around that $300 level. But again, not my base case. We got to see how these waves go. All right. So what are we looking at for the A, the B, and the C here? Let's go ahead. I'm going to get rid of this. Oops. I'm going to get rid of that range right there. The other thing I want you to notice is our primary target Where does that take us? Bam, right at the top of this wave 2 on the drop down. So what we'd be looking at is we have our 5 waves up. We got back up to that level, which again is kind of in the danger zone with the fibs. But then what we're looking at is a potential A, B, C to take us back down here. All right, so you have your 5 up, you'd have a macro A, B, C down, and then after, all of the carnage and everything would be looking to turn back up. But as of right now, that is going to be my base case here for EGLD. So now we got to decide where the A waves and B waves and all that stuff, where are we headed? All right, and again, getting up here is still a 15x. There's no reason you should be upset. The only time that you would be not profitable on this coin was if you bought up here. That's the only time you wouldn't have been profitable. There's like a 3-month period over the entire 6 years of this that you wouldn't be in profit if it went up here. So I don't want to hear people complaining. I don't make the rules. I just show you the math. All right, typically what we're looking at is we want to get back above that last local high. Oftentimes it'll come to like the 1618. So here, this is the range we're looking at. Typically, we'll get up to the 1618. At minimum, we'll get back up to this high. But typically, we'll see it extend a little bit. People will buy in, they'll get wrong-footed, and they'll end up coming back down either to back test this level or get into these retracements. So on this, what for a lot of alts will be 4th wave, but for this, a B wave because of the way it's going, right? We're looking at like a 35 to 50% drawdown on that wave. So with this being more of a mid cap, I'd probably shoot closer to the 45% mark. Just coming back onto that high gives us 34%, the 786, 45, 48, 53. So for the time being, we'll go ahead and we'll put this right up here at the 45% level, around like 48.22 for our B wave, okay? The other thing too is look where this A wave tops out at the 1618, right up here around this 4th wave, right? And then it tops out here around the 2nd wave. So just more confluence adding to it, especially when you take a look at the past price action. So we have this A, we have this B, and we have this C getting us up, and away. So what would that look like from a wave count perspective? This first wave gets us at like 651% or a 7.5x back up to that $87 level. After a big knockdown, go back up 344. So the one thing here that we got to pay attention to is maybe I'm getting ambitious on the A wave, but the C wave should be at least the distance of the A wave. Okay, so a couple different things can happen, and we're not gonna try to speculate that right now. A lot of it's gonna come down to what happens on this A wave. All right, if this A wave does stop out short and then this ends up being lower, well, then we have a situation where, now that suffices. So it's just too hard right now. But typically they'll make it up to the 1618. They'll drop back into their retracement levels. So we'll have to wait and see, because as of right now, that math ain't mathin'. Let's see, where would that put us here? Maybe that second target, if we went 663%, where does that put us? Yeah, that even gets us up a little higher. So going to have to wait and see how this develops. If this does only make it down here back to that high, which we saw just happen with Ethereum, Bitcoin extended a little and came back down, that would completely change this. So for now, we're going to conservatively say that we're going to get back up to this wave here for the A wave at 87, drop back down at around 48, blow off to 217. And once this A wave does wrap up, we can go back to the drawing board. I'll have a better idea of how this is going to look, right? This thing's down here, well, the C wave is going to be fine getting up there. If this thing wants to go all the way up here, hell yeah, let's go. Then this thing's going to be going higher, right? Right now, all we can do is take what the charts are giving us, and mathematically, it's looking like something like that within, obviously, a little bit of an adjustment to come. But the main point being is we're seeing that final target out here. We want to be right around that 217 level for EGLD, and then we have that blow off up here closer to 300. So I will keep you guys in the loop as alt season gets rolling. This A wave here is, again, really going to determine what's going on for that C wave. So for the time being, we'll say 87 down to 48 up to 210 before we roll over, and that's it. So that's how it's looking for EGLD, my friends, like I mentioned, join the Quantum Circle, real-time trades, portfolio access, 2 macro videos every day, access to my Discord, and I teach you guys how to do TA just like me. Link to that is in the bio. If not, just super appreciative you guys are all here. If you could follow, like, repost, a limited amount of time to get this info out to as many people as I can. So appreciate you guys being a part of it. I got a few more rolling out today. I will talk to you then.